Okay, I now have the honor of presenting this year's Patti Moore Human Services Integration Award to Nancy Dickieson. This award recognizes OMSSA member or a member delegate who has displayed extraordinary leadership and made an exceptional contribution to human services. Nancy Dickieson is the Director of Children's Services, Community Services Region of Waterloo, and she is a person who displays extraordinary leadership and has made exceptional contributions to human services in a number of key areas. As the Director of Children's Services, Community Services, Region of Waterloo, Nancy has been central to the success of a number of initiatives focused on human services integration. Nancy has also been described by numerous community partners as a leader who consistently puts the child and family at the center of system service planning. Nancy has been instrumental in the highly successful implementation of the Ministry of Education child care reforms, where in the region of Waterloo and the Waterloo Regional District School Board and the Waterloo Catholic District School Board have worked in unprecedented collaboration integration. Waterloo Region has often been the example used by the Ministry of Education as the jurisdiction where the CMSM and school boards are getting it right. Some of Nancy's other outstanding achievements include working collaboratively to help create the Children's Planning Table in Waterloo Region. She has championed the creation of an open and inclusive planning process that has enabled Children's Planning Table members to work together towards the integration of services that support children and families. Nancy's passionate leadership has resulted in a truly engaged and inclusive membership that is highly committed to ensuring that the needs of children and families are met as seamlessly and effectively as possible. Nancy was also instrumental in the creation of an early childhood educator professional resource center in partnership with Conestoga College. The collaboration with Conestoga College ensured that continuous professional learning opportunities for ECEs were integrated and available in our community, which maximized resources and minimized duplications. Congratulations, Nancy. Please come forward to receive your award and say a few words.
So I want to say thank you. This is a very great honor and award. And I must say, when I was thinking about what to say today, I found myself somewhat stumped. How does one say anything inspirational to a group of colleagues who are all leaders and working towards the same issues? Several years ago, I read a book that impacted how I thought about leadership. In his book, Wisdom of Bees, Michael O'Malley states, "It seems to me that the bees were working on the very same kinds of problems we're trying to solve. How can large, diverse groups work together harmoniously and productively? Perhaps we could take what the bees do so well and apply it to our own institutions." Drawing from his observations of the behavior of bees in the hive, Michael O'Malley developed 25 rules that should be applied to anyone in a leadership role. I've picked several of these that resonated for me when engaging in any leadership role, but more specifically when working with diverse groups of people to try and create integrated service delivery. So today I thought I would share some of them with you. Not all 25, I promise. First of all, keep it simple. Bees exchange only relevant information and operate under clear standards and use straightforward measures and feedback to guide their actions. Often as organizations, we tend to introduce a level of complexity into our processes that inadvertently undermines efficiency and effectiveness. Secondly, let merit be your guide. The smooth, efficient functioning of the hive trumps preservation of an individual's genetic lineage. Put simply, bees cannot afford to play favorites. The same should hold true for our work, where we avoid the tendency to allow friendships, ties, and feelings of reciprocity to affect our better judgments. Like the honeybees, consensus determines direction. Everything is done for the good of the whole, and the community is central to the operation of the colony. Third, order and innovate through fuzzy constants. Much of the activity of bees is calibrated to constants that allows them to find their way home. When working as a community, if we collectively adopt and attach ourselves in a few key principles, the system as a whole becomes more reliable. By doing this, a degree of error in the form of initiative, original thinking, and experimentation can be tolerated. If we have fuzzy constants or directions then everyone is clear about how we are working to address complex issues. But the fuzzy part allows for adaptations, creativity, and individual judgment. In other words, we all have to know who we are and where we are headed, but allow sufficient flexibility for new, innovative, or creative approaches to achieve the goals. Make good enough decisions. When bees leave their hive to search for a new home, they open themselves up to a variety of risks, such as weather and predators. As they search for the right place, they are also expending a small store of energy that they bring with them. This means that the bees must make decisions quickly in their hunt for a new home before the nectar that they carry with them has been expended. Because of this pressure, the bees are making decisions with imperfect information. They can't wait to find the perfect new location. They have to settle for good enough. In our world, we typically think that there's only one correct answer, or that we need to complete multiple sets of data, analysis, and collect all of the information before we can move forward with a perfect decision. If instead we viewed things from a context of better or worse, rather than right or wrong, it would help us to realize that the decision doesn't have to be perfect before we can take action. This is what I like to call the leap of faith. Incomplete information is not the same as insufficient information. Fifth, keep your balance. The activity of the hive appears very chaotic, bees crawling over one another and flying to and from the hive at irregular intervals and in multiple directions. Though it may look messy and confusing, there's an underlying order. What makes this work is the diversity of the bees, who have varying and different genetic dispositions. The point in this is to highlight the importance of diversity. When we lack diversity, we can suffer from a concentration of similar strengths and points of view, and we impact our own productivity. Diversity brings differing points of view and ideas that are needed when working with complex issues. Finally, give people something to care about. We, too, could have a colony single-mindedness, the equivalent of a cause worth fighting for. Every day, the bees are on a life-saving mission on behalf of the hive and for future generations. Does it really matter if nature divines their purpose and we create ours? Either way, a group can cut through a lot of clutter if bound together by a common goal or purpose in what they're trying to accomplish. In closing, it's important to remember that throughout life we all discover that the things we are best at doing are those that we are the most passionate about. It's not about having any superior powers or skills, but truly it's about a passion for a cause. For me, it's about improving the lives of children and families. Together, we can change the life trajectory for children. If we do that, we impact all of the services that we all deliver and perhaps create a better world for all. As we look for ways to improve our organizations and work together more closely, it would not be outlandish to take a step back and ask yourself, what would a bee do? Thank you.
Congratulations, Nancy, on behalf of OMSSA and for the outstanding work that you do and continue to do.